Okay, this is Henry with showmyhobby.com, and basically in the description you'll see I am going to catch you up a little bit quickly on some projects that I'm working on, and then we are going to actually solder this onto a Motorola power adapter and make that useful for the LED lights on my N-scale layout. And then we're going to test some crossing gates from WeHonest, which I purchased on eBay. So let's get right to it. The other thing is, normally when I'm working on my trains, I am usually listening to something on TV. Sometimes it's music. Tonight I was watching Wicked Inventions, and obviously I don't think YouTube's going to let me record with the shows or some of the more mainstream music in the background. But I am going to try this recording with some Ludwig Beethoven, which will be playing on Prime Music, Amazon Prime Music. So I'm going to start that now, and that'll be the background music that you hear. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to play. It's going to randomize stuff and do whatever it's going to do. But there will probably be periods where I am working and you won't be able to hear me say anything because I'll be concentrating. Now, I have these crossing signals that I haven't tried to connect yet. And all the information is online on how to do it. So I'll be reading that and trying to get that done, which we'll just have to see how it goes. I would like to be done in 45 minutes, but we will see. Okay. Play music by Beethoven.
Shuffling Ludwig van Beethoven and similar artists on Amazon Music.
Now I'm selecting this music simply because, in my opinion, it should be in the public domain by this point. I mean, it's hundreds of years old. I get that there are individual artists that might be playing these items, but I don't think any royalties are being paid to Beethoven. So that being the case, there should be no conflict of interest there. But we'll find out. We'll just see what YouTube does. I wanted to see it because as I move forward with some of this live streaming, I'm going to probably utilize some background music, and I wanted to be sure that that doesn't present a problem on the channel. So here we go. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. I'm just reading something on the screen here. Let's start with this. So this right here is a Bachmann bass that comes with their P&B bank. It's a plastic veal N-scale bank. At least I believe it's plastic veal. But even this one right here, the one that I have, it's got to be at least 30 years old. And something that happens is these things have a tendency to bow. It could be humidity, it could be exposure to heat, or it could just be a natural phenomenon that happens with age. Well, I cut this one off. The two holes in it held a red vehicle, and this is under the drive-through on the back. Now, I've since removed this. I cut it off using a track saw by Atlas, and then it has a flower pot right here where the canopy has two columns that come down and fit on the side of the flower pot, and really it's a small tree that sits up in here. So if you've seen pictures of the layout, I put down plaster, which basically really wasn't plaster, it was spackling, and cut this off the flower pot and put it on the thing. I'm not going to show that to you. It's in a lot of other videos, but this piece right here, I'm going to 86 it. It's going to the garbage can. Okay. All right. So let's get to the next thing. This guy. So I'd already placed in my Amazon cart quite a few power adapters, and they stayed there for several days. In fact, they're still in there now. I didn't pull the trigger on them. I've got a power supply that I'm using right now, which I think is about 9 volts at 1,000 milliamps. This thing right here, if I can read it, is a Motorola AC power supply. Its output is 5 volts at 500 megaamps. Excuse me, 500 milliamps. It's old. It's been out of the package for years, just sitting on a desk somewhere. It's probably 6 or 7 cell phones ago. And I have a lot of these from different cell phones. Some of them are still brand new in the box. This one was sitting on a shelf upstairs. I decided to just pull it out. And it had a mini USB connector on the end. So when I saw it was only 500 milliamps and only 5 volts, if you've seen any of the other videos, which you may not have, they're probably not up there yet, but they will be up there eventually, where I show those lights, you will see that they're pretty bright with the 9 volt. And if it's a 12 volt, they're very bright. So I've been looking for less power, less voltage. I wanted to test to see it. Now, right now, there's somewhere around 40 lights on there. Eventually, there'll be 50 plus, maybe 60 something. So I am concerned about the milliamps. And right now, this is just in test phase. So yesterday or the day before, one or two, I pulled this out. I saw it there. I cut off the mini USB adapter. And then on an old computer power adapter, I found one with a DIN plug, a mini DIN plug, that will fit into the receptacle for the power that I have on my control panel. I've shown you the control panel, or you haven't seen it on the live stream, but eventually those videos will get up there. So there's videos of me making the control panel and da-da-da. And so this right here is a female power adapter receptacle. There are 2 different ones on the control panel. One of these, just like this, is on the control panel. I bought 2 of these many years ago, and just now had a use for it. So just to show you that the plug fits, whereas a USB plug would not fit. So I cut this off of a computer that I have the power adapter for, and the computer is 30, 40 years old. Well, 30 years old anyway. It's a Micron computer. I don't think they're made anymore. The laptop that it was for is long gone. So I kept it, and I cut the end off of it, and the end fits. And so then I got online and made sure I knew how to determine from 2 black lines here which one is which lead is positive and which lead is negative. Well, this doesn't really conform to some of the information that I received. Some of them suggested that the negative line, the negative wire, is the one with the striations, or the one that's not smooth. There was a guy providing a way to do a test, and he had 3 ways to try to determine what the polarity is of things coming from power adapters. And I'm not sure his information was accurate. One guy left a comment stating that something blew up when he tried to follow the guy's instructions. So I verified that by using a couple other people on YouTube to determine exactly how to test the polarity. And it came down to the fact that I was going to have to use the multimeter. And I do apologize. I will be right back. Maybe going for about 2 minutes. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, I made this the other day. I used the power multimeter to determine which lead is, or which lead is positive and which lead is negative. So I'm going to take this apart, and picked up 2 pieces of electrical tape. This is the one I was using. I think it's going to be done here in just a moment, and then we'll resume with the other piece. So let me take this apart. And my dilemma here is, in the control panel, there's not a whole lot of room. There are other brand new power adapters in there that have all of their original length cabling on the adapters, and I've just bundled them together and tried my best to hide them inside the control panel. So my dilemma is, since this one is specially made, should I cut it to the desired length, which would be roughly about right there, and then it have a little bit of excess but not a whole lot, or do I leave this on the total bare end of this thing, I mean the full length of the cable, and then have to bundle it up like this in order to get it inside of the control panel? So at this point, I think I am going to cut it short. It does mean that this will definitely have to be dedicated to this particular scenario, or save the wire that is here in between. And if I have to make it back close to its original length at some point in time, then put the wiring back together. So when I open this, we'll be able to find out exactly which lead turned out to be positive and which one turned out to be the negative. Okay. Now, I already tested it, and in working, the 5 volts provides a lot more appreciated. Oh, well, guess what? I'm going to have to go get the multimeter anyway, because now I don't know which one is positive and negative. Okay, well, that's good. You'll get an opportunity to see that, and you'll know how to determine whether or not it's positive or negative. Okay, so let me get all the tape off of it. Go. And while I go get that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on to my soldering iron, so that once this is figured out, we can get right to it. We won't have to wait for that to power up, get too hot. Okay. Be right back. Okay, here we have a old style power meter, multimeter, and I've already got my black common in the common, and the red probe I've got in the V for voltage. And what I always like to do first, just to make sure I've got good battery power, so I like to turn it to where it gives me a tone when I touch the probes together. Okay, that lets me know that I've got a good battery. Then I'm going to move this, and from the way I understand this, whenever you want to determine what voltage is, you have to make a guess as to what you think the maximum voltage is going to be. So I'm going to turn mine down to 20 volts. Okay. Now, typically, if I understand the way to do this properly, as long as whatever I'm testing is not over 20 volts, it should give me a positive or a negative readout as to how many volts there are. And the polarity will be determined by when the meter shows me a positive number. Okay, so let me see if I can make that so you can see it easier. Okay, we just prop it up on the flux and the solder. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim the leads here on the power supply. Okay, I've trimmed the leads, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and twist them a little bit. They don't have to be twisted very well. In fact, you get a better connection if I didn't twist them, but it'd be easier to manage this way. All right, so what you must do is plug the power adapter in. Now, I've got my other computer on over here so that I can read the scenario when we get to it. I have a large power strip over here. I'm going to try to get it at least close enough to where I can plug this in and you can still see it in the camera frame. So bear with me here. I'm going to unplug one adapter. Let's see if it's going to work out for us. Okay, I want to make sure they're not touching. Okay. Okay, I plugged the leads in. The power adapter in. And now we're going to try to get a reading from the multimeter. And I'm just randomly testing these. I don't know which is which, so just testing it to see. It's not going to beep or anything. It should just increase the numbers. Okay. Well, that's not doing jack. That's not right. Because one way or another, it should be positive or negative. So, what could the problem be? Now, the problem might be that I talked about putting this on the voltage setting, and I set it to 20 when I should have put it on 200 up here in the V section. So let's try that again. Yep, that's not doing it either. Let me flip them. Well, that sucks. Here I am trying to show you what I think I did the other day, and nothing is responding. Not unless somehow I damaged the power adapter in the meantime. Like I said, I tested this the other day. It has been on the layout, has been working. No issues. All right, let me see if there's something going on with my probes again. Okay, I'm not getting any continuity. Hold on. think I put this thing on 20 yesterday, or the day before. So let's see what happens now. Nothing. Now, what's interesting is when my fingers on the wires and the probe, I can feel a little bit of heat being generated. So let me see what happens if I touch it without my fingers being present. Nothing. Well, guys, I'm at a loss. What's going on here? I'm going to switch the power adapter, switch the plug. That was to the laptop that you're looking at. Let's put it in a different system. Yeah, no, alligator clips would be safer and all that good jazz. But this is supposed to be real quick. It should have just worked the first time I tested it. Getting something. Now, one thing that's different between the leads that I had the other day and now is there's some sort of a little stringy filament that's inside there. I cut that off or out of the other one. Okay, I'm getting nothing there. So let's move this down here. Try again. Nothing. I do think I see a battery issue. So maybe that's what the problem is. Or this filament's getting in my way. Not getting good. All right. That test is not working, which means it won't work for me. So can't move forward until it's determined what the problem is. Now that's not battery. That's a little minus, positive or negative sign showing up there. I am fairly certain this is what I did the other day to test this, which worked like a charm. All right, let me cut these filaments out of here, and you might can see them. My soldering iron is getting hot. Okay. It's not pretty at all. Okay, guys, I'm just mystified as to what in the world is going on here. Unless I damaged the power supply at some point somehow yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the layout. I'm going to plug it into the power adapter that's over there. Try to test it over there and see if that's an issue. Be right back. Okay, guys, nothing. So, no idea what happened. I'm going to go get another power adapter. That might take me a little bit. I can't tell you how long. I know where they are, but I have to go through a lot of them. So I'll be right back. Okay. Here's a travel charger. It's 5 volts at 200 milliamps. And did not mean to bring this one up here. Let's put this back. I think this is a temporary one I was using. Okay, so I didn't find another hardwired one. These were from my cell phones, but my sisters have some old cell phones, and I just couldn't find their stuff. So don't know where theirs is. Might be in storage. These are more modern. They require a actual USB cable. This is the same mini USB plug that I removed from the one I was working with. So there'll be a different arrangement of wirings inside of this particular plug. As you can see, it no longer has two plugs on it. So I'm going to cut that, trash that. There's 4 wires in here. Now I know there's a brand new one inside this Droid Mini box. This one I didn't test, so I don't know whether or not it works or not. I'm cutting the long end here first. I'll measure it in just a moment. Just want to get an idea of what's going on. Okay. So I did look up what's supposed to be inside of these mini USB cables. Red and black is what I should be working with. So honestly, this one should be already set up for me. Red and black should be positive and negative, to be honest with you. I'm going to test those first. I'll just pull the leads on it and test those and see if it comes out. See if it works during the test. I mean, well, I can smell my solder machine over here and it's just burning. So bear with me. Okay, we're going to put this thing back where I think it's supposed to be. I think I put it on 20. I think this is supposed to be over here. And I'm going to plug in the USB adapter cable. I'm looking at the reflection in the camera. We'll touch these and we'll see what happens. Okay. And this one is 5.1 volts. Okay. So if the negative mark is over here, which is correct, I've touched the black probe to the red wire, and I've touched the red wire to the black wire. So sure enough, I'm getting voltage, but it's reversed. So now I'm going to plug the green, or touch the green, the red wire to the red wire, black probe to the black wire, and move my hand so you can see it. All right, 5.1 volts. Now, the difference here is this is 850 milliamps. So I'm going to perform the same thing that I did with the other one. I probably need 1.2 amps, or will need 1.2 amps by the time I finish all of the lighting. Now, I ordered one power supply from Amazon, and it says it has some circuitry built into it where it will reduce the amount of amps provided up to whatever it's rated to. So it's never providing too many amps. So I'm going to see what happens. I take one LED, and this thing is rated for 12 to 18 volts, 20 milliamps. So we're going to find out what happens. Let's see if this thing blows when I put 850 milliamps on it. Okay. As long as it doesn't blow, then I'm safe to connect it to all my lights. But if it blows, then we won't be doing this tonight. And I'll still have to purchase one that has circuitry built into it to regulate the amount of milliamps being used, because there'll be varying times when the amps will be different. I'm using one power supply to power up 3 different buses, 3 different light buses. One of those buses is my street light, and then the other bus is the lights for the houses, and the lights for the buildings. So I don't know if you can see that. I didn't see it. Get over here. Come on. Get in there. At least I don't have the filament to deal with. Okay. Let's see if we get a light, or if it's gone pop or popped already. I don't know. Here's a light. There's a connection. And here's a connection. Okay, we're getting a lit LED. Can you see it? I don't see that you can see it. So I'm trying to move it so that you can still see it. Okay, it's coming on. It's not blowing. Okay. All right, so I don't know if there's circuitry built into this particular Motorola to prevent it from providing too much amperage output, but that works. That LED has survived. And let's get back to what's supposed to be going on here. So I'm going to grab this. Here's the old one that for some reason has stopped working. The test worked with me putting it on voltage and moving it to V, and I've got it on 20, so that worked out. I'm just going to use this to get an idea of how long this particular wire should be, now that I'm going to cut it down to length, the length that I need. I think that length is this right here. Just get rid of that. Cut it. Wire over to the side. Strip it again. Move the shielding. Strip the wires again, black and white only. I'm going to go ahead and cut these other wires short. Okay. I'm pretty sure the power adapter isn't using them anyway. Okay, except for maybe the ground. There's a ground wire there, but I doubt it's using it. So I'm going to cut those. I want to cut them. I want to make sure they're not touching in any way. I'm going to split this just a little bit and cut the ground wire a little shorter than the others to try to make sure it doesn't ever touch one of those other leads, even though I'm fairly certain there's no connection inside of that power adapter to these other wires, just to be on the safe side. Okay, just so you can see what I've done, hopefully. Okay, I've cut the shielding, cut a little split in the wire and pull the shielding down so that because it's open wire, it doesn't have any type of sleeve on it, except for the full jacket, the outside. Cutting that a little short. Got my trash can down here. Okay. Right here is some shrink tubing. I'm going to test fit it. Okay. That's a little oversized, but we'll go ahead and use it anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to look to see how small a test tube I have, shrink wrap I have, and if so, it's huge. Okay, so these are my choices for shrink tubing, if you can see them, and all of these are too big to work with. So we'll have to use the electrical tape for sure. All right, so let me clean this up a little bit. And strip the wires again. Okay. Wires are stripped. Red is our positive. On this particular plug, the positive is on the inside. Okay. So now we just need to put them together and solder them. Untwist these a little bit. Spread them out. Get a slightly better connection. Okay. Go on the inside. See what I've done? I've just kind of meshed them together. And now we'll twist them. Same thing here. Just gonna thrust those right into the mix. And twist it. Okay. And I'm going to cut them down just a little bit. Okay, that's what I'm working with. I'm getting ready to solder those. A little bit of solder. Dip them in a little bit of flux. I would burnt the tip on my soldering iron. It's here, it's ready to go. Okay, that's it. I don't think that I'm going to need the soldering iron for the crossing gates. Of course, by now it's probably 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30, who knows. But I do want to get that done. Just means not a whole lot of sleep for me tonight. Okay. Try cleaning my soldering iron just a little bit here. Okay, put that back there. Let's take a look. Okay. I'm going to test it one more time before I wrap it up. Okay. I'm going to put the red tip, which should be positive, inside the plug. Get that to where you can see it. And then touch the outside shielding. And everything looks good. Positive 5.11 volts. Okay. So if I've not confused you too much, and if you're still with me, basically, I'm not sure what happened to the other one. Somehow I messed it up. It had been working. It was working when I turned it off, but somehow something happened. At any rate, that's been done. Let's get this guy taken care of. Let me put some tape on here. Start with this one to see if I've got any tape left. And as you can see, I really don't. So throw that one away. Grab the other tape. Okay. Now that shrink tubing may not be large enough to go all the way down over this. So we will see. And what I'm trying to do is create a good barrier between these two, because I am going to have to use force to push the shrink tubing down. I don't want the two leads to come together on the inside of the shrink tubing. Okay, here's the junction point. Amazon is asking me if I want to continue. So as I can free my hand up, I'll say yes. Let the music continue to play. It's not working out to my liking. Let's go backwards. Just don't have it tight enough. Maybe. Come on. Okay. It's not working out good. Try something else. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is extend the distance between two. I've ripped off my red wire, and I want to get it a little closer to or further away from the other wire. So hands are really sticky. I have to go wash them. I have to start the soldering iron up again. I'm going to grab a larger piece of shrink tubing. Okay, so now when I put the black wire, it'll be further down here. The red wire will be further up here. But still, I don't want it to collide with these wires on the inside. I'll cut those back a little bit too. All right, this is just a mess. But better than I get it, so I don't have to worry about the connection later. And I should have offset these wires before. That would have been the prudent thing to do. But okay, you see what I'm ending up with now? And so when I put solder these on here now, they'll be further enough away that all should be well. So I'm going to leave both sides shrink tubings on. Just move the bigger one down further position. And we will twist them again. They won't be braided into each other this time, but oh well. Yep, can't get that braided. My hands are sticky. Fingers anyway. create a little bit larger bead on there this time so I can cut it down. My little fan is underneath the layout. Sad thing is this stuff's getting in my eyes. And all smoke irritates the heck out of me. This stuff is horrible. Okay. Okay, they are now definitely away from each other, and away from everything else. So, let's reapply tape. And shrink wrap. I just want to make sure these guys are not touching. Just use continuity for that. They're not touching. I really need to try to shrink that, but okay. Now, if you've got a nice little shrink wrap heating gun, that works great. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use the heat from a soldering iron to try to shrink the tubing down a little bit. I can see the sun coming up. Now, this needs to be a little bit flexible because underneath the control panel it's going to have to make a bend shortly after connecting to the receptacle. Okay, I think that does it. I'll be testing it again in just a minute. As soon as I get back, I'm going to wash my fingers to get this sticky stuff off of it. And I'll return. Okay, one last test. And on the inside, okay. All right, what time is it? 7 o'clock, 7:06. Wow, that took way too long. But I don't have a choice. I got to keep going. I have a lot to do this weekend and get ready for a train show coming up. Got to change my Wi-Fi network here at the house. Deal with some clients. And provide this guy with some feedback. Okay, I just connected it to the power supply into the control panel. And I didn't test it, but I'm sure it works. So that's done. Now let's dig into the crossing gate. Okay, now this is what the package looks like. The full set. Again, this is WeHonest, and I ordered at least 4 of these sets. One of them is HO scale, and the other 3 are N scale. And in addition to that, I ordered some extra crossing gates. So I don't think the crossing gates are in this part, but this is supposed to have pretty much everything in it. There's a speaker. Move this out of the way. Sensors, all the control boards. And we'll find out exactly what all we have here in a minute. All right, 2 servos. Now I'm not going to set up actuation tonight, but I am going to plug the servos in just to be sure that they move whenever they're supposed to. Notice this is not actual crossing track, but these are Walther's Lifelike in-scale tracks. They go together sideways. I have some of those for sale. They're not showing up on Show My Hobby right now, but eventually they will. Have an entire U-Haul layout. This right here was already together. Found this piece of styrofoam. So what I'm going to do is let's get some track nails and temporarily lock those down. See if this is the end scale. It is. There should be some track nails right here. you. Position that. Like I said, this styrofoam was already cut. The tracks were already together. That's why I just grabbed it. We'll make the most out of it. I'll pretend this right here, this straight track, is my railroad crossing. Lifelike doesn't make straight railroad crossing tracks. They make a power track. It has a power feeder on it that has a re-railer on it. And when you see pictures of the U-Haul layout, you can see those. And in fact, I think I have all the ones that I have currently installed on the U-Haul layout. If I have any more, I'd have to confirm that when I put the listing online. Okay, have the tracks. Now to run some styrofoam. Okay, that's good. We'll put this away. And like I said, I have not I looked at the instructions before buying, maybe once or twice after buying, but I didn't study them a whole lot. I mean, it looks like they have a system that should work, so that's why I bought everything. Now let's see if we can make it work. All right. Power adapter that they have provided. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. All right. So it goes in there. I'm not going to plug it in just yet. Let's start with the first things first. Figure out what that is. Oh, let's go ahead and get at least crossing gate installed. And I think I've already picked out the right drill bit for that I'll be using on the layout. I think I have it sitting right over here. Let me grab the drill and we will install one real quick, or both of them real quick. This is the drill. Locate the drill. Battery. Okay. Drill bit. And I believe this is the bit that I've already pre-tested to see if that is the right size. I believe it is. It allows me to drill a hole plus screw the crossing gate into the styrofoam. Which will be very similar to what's going to go on the layout. And I'm just going to do a rough guess here. So we'll make sure it's away from the track. X marks the spot. Okay. Drill. Okay, looks like I need something to help push that down. Okay, very quickly. Wires out the bottom. And of course, normally that would be built up to the height of the track. Okay, there we go. We have wires for that one. And there, we'll stick this in. Okay, I don't want the wires all over the place, so I'm just going to sort of guide them for a little bit. Okay. All right. What I imagine we need first are flashers. So I'm on the WeHonest website because they do not provide any type of written instructions with what they send you. Instructions for the master board. This right here is the master board. That one right there. Okay. Servo action, speed adjuster, power input. Here. Excuse me. Delay settings, servo connection. Slave board. Servo degree setting. Secondary sensor. Testing switch. Mode setting jumper. Signal connectors. Two aspect signal. Try to identify what that board is. Could be this board. But if it is, the arrangement is a little bit different. So I'm not 100% sure that that is the connector board for that yet. Okay. Quick start for crossing signals. That is definitely a different board. Okay. This board is the one for signals. Excuse me. Getting tired and sleepy. Here we go. I'm yawning. My apologies. Okay. This is considered the flasher board right here. This right here goes to this board and it's already connected. So 1, 2, 3. Here is where these guys get connected, according to the diagram that I'm looking at. However, it shows a red wire in the middle and 2 blacks. But it also seems to show them 1 pin over from the left. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Just get a screwdriver. And it does. It shows that here too. So let's going to plug these in. Red goes in the middle here. Now they have an extension cable, so let's deal with that. Even though we're right here at it, we'll be able to move around. So extension cable comes in the pack, and this pack is what had the crossing gate in it. That right there seems to be the control wire for actuating the arms. I'd already pulled these out, so let's leave that in there. Okay. I'll put the extension cables on there first, make it a little bit easier for me to work with. Now, interesting, these have different color wires. At this point, I'm just going to guess. imagine red and green matter. I'm sorry, black and green. Just as long as the red one is in the middle. Okay, those have been set up. And right here, I will screw these guys in. Gently, I hope. Well, I thought I was screwing them in there. But apparently not all of them have come or sliding right up. Hmm. You know what? I don't know for a fact, but what I think is these little guys over here, they look like they are cross-connected to that wiring block. And because of that, I think I'm going to plug them into the side instead of trying to screw them in, because they're not screwing in. That appears to be a loose screw. Okay. So, I can't promise you that's what these are for, but that's what we'll try. It might be for something else. It might be for traffic lights or something else. There's 4 of them on here. Come on. Granted, this is not where these instructions appear to say place these, but let's stick them here to start with. We'll see what happens. Only because screwing them in isn't working. These look like they were made for that. Okay, so those are in there. And then it says power supply goes to main board here. It shows this guy here already connected to something. Let's see, this board connected to this board, I think. Sound effects board. No, it doesn't quite look right. It's missing some components there. Doesn't look like the sound effects board. There's another board somewhere. Here's another board. Not sure what this board is yet. Doesn't say. Servo. Okay. It's like a servo board. These two. So it's not that board. The sound effects board. That's what I'm missing. This guy goes out. He goes to the sound effects board. Right here. This is apparently supposed to be the sound effects board, even though it does not look the same in his diagrams online. Okay, got a sound effects board here, so speaker. Right. Sensors. This board here. There's two wires that come out. And go with this board. Now that's already done for me, so I'm just double checking because the sound effects board shows that there are two wires, but it shows that it goes to the main board, which is this board. So that's right. Just turning things, trying to see what's going on here. Okay. Sensor. CRT. So find a sensor. Like one. So it shows one sensor here. Sensor have to be mounted somehow, some way prior to the track, I guess. So, guesses this needs to be. The question is, what does it connect to? By the way. Okay, 2 sensors. Now, the question is, these sensors send and receive. What is it they're using to bounce off of? IR sensor mounted through the baseboard. Mounted through the baseboard. Mounted through the baseboard. Now the crossing signal shows me an IR sensor. It doesn't actually say mounted under the baseboard, but as you can see, we can't really mount these unless I make a big hole in the track here. There's no way to get these to look up through the track. So I thought they had to be positioned opposing each other, but it's not the case. I'm not going to try to mount them right this moment. What I might do is I might end up putting them back here for a second. When we start testing things, I'll figure out how they work, whether or not they need to be pointed toward each other or pointed upwards in order to make a detection. So right now, don't know exactly how they get detected, but here we go. So let me pull this out a little bit. Get this out of the way, if at all possible. Okay. All right. What's next? All right. You may power the lights directly if you don't have my distribution board. Okay, we have that. 12-volt DC. Set the mode to MB on the master. MB is set up. Okay. Servos. One servo. And I see a board that says servos right here. Quick start for other devices. Okay. Street lights. All right. Excuse me. I've already set up most of my street lights, so bridge lights and okie dokie. Let's go back up here. 0 degree setting, servo connector. One servo connector, servo action. So the servo connector must be something that goes to this board, into the master board. So master board, these guys, and this guy's the servo. Yep, it's a servo. Okay. Orange, red, brown. Orange, red, brown. Servos. Servo 1, servo 2. So put one on servo 1, orange, red, brown. The other servo on servo 2. Orange, red, brown. Okay. At this moment, when I go to do the testing, I just want to hear that these guys move. That's all I really need to do, hear that they move. Okay, I believe this is extension cable for something. That's another IR sensor. Extension cable. Another IR sensor. Put these over here so they look exactly the same. So I'm assuming that one sends and receives, but I don't know that yet. We're about to find out. And more extension cable. This garbage. Over here. Right. Stand. Okay. All right. Speaker. Now, according to this looks like all I'm supposed to do. Crossing gates are engaged. The servos are set up. IR sensors over there. Speaker is set. Okay. Power supply. Right here. Unravel it a little bit because I moved my power strip back to where it normally sits. Plugging this in. Main power supplies here. Something's going on. At least have sound. for one servo move. Jump. Okay. Lights are off. I'm lifting it up because I didn't look at the lights before. Got these guys pointed upward. Okay. See lights. Just gonna stand that up. I'm gonna wave my hand over it once I get it to where it works. Okay, I think my hand crossed over it. Okay, so assuming the train direction was from this direction right here. Okay. Just went over that. Didn't hear any servos. Okay. I'm going to go in this direction now. So I'm coming over with my hand over top of the sensor. It triggered. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a flashing light for a short period of time, at least on this one. Coming back over here. It's a slow flash, but I'm not sure they flashed. Look like they're staying solid. So here, one side is solid, it blinked, then it cuts off. So it may not have the crossing gates in the right place. Excuse me. Go find out. Keep testing. Now I need to lift this up so I can see the lights a little better. And again, this is it, whatever the default settings are. Those are not flashing. They're moving from one side to the other, but they're not moving back and forth. So part of the thing is getting it configured, I'm sure. But the other thing is it definitely looks like these have to be mounted underneath the track. That would be easy in my existing installation. In fact, I'm not even sure how that's going to occur. But maybe it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. I'm just testing sensitivity right now. At this distance, it's not a problem. This distance, not a problem. Doesn't do anything. But that distance right there, trigger something. And servos moved. Do it again. They did not move. That one moved. Again. Okay. So what I might be able to do, since putting this underneath my track is definitely going to be a problem, I just need to get it close enough so that when I bring a train in there, okay, train goes across it like that, you'll see it, okay, and can make it move. All right. So I'll tell you what we'll do. It's going to go off for a moment or two. But see if I can just very quickly come up with something. Just an idea. Just room in here. Okay. for a train, but okay. Okay, so what I'm thinking is on the side of my layout, I can install these on toothpicks if necessary, whatever it takes. They'll be looking at my track, and train comes around, comes down through here, triggers that one, moves through. I heard servos. Okay, so there's one mode where when the train goes through, while it's at the sensor, as long as it's being sensed, it pushes the gates down. As soon as it goes past, it releases the gates and they go back to normal position. So I think that's the mode that it's in right now, just past the one sensor. Okay, going past the sensor, I heard the servos, and the servos went by again. Okay, there's another mode. Okay, where the sensor gets triggered, the gates go down, they stay on until the next sensor gets triggered. So let me find those instructions. I do remember seeing that. Change to that particular mode. So let's find where that is. I think that's on the crossing gate itself. So let's go find it. There. It might actually be on the listing. Just across the gate. That's the speaker. Let's come back here. See what we're looking at. Okay, that's the grade crossing. The dimmer speed adjuster. So let's see if this is the thing that has the mode on it. Don't see it there. That's not one of the boards that I have. Still looking. Okay, here we go. All right, speed controller. Set the kickoff speed. First of all, let's set the mode for block signal, mode for real. Okay, that's something else. Keep going. Somewhere I saw it. Let's get back to where I saw it. Flasher. Okay. What I think I'm going to have to do is on the flasher board, I have to try to put these guys where they're supposed to be, which means where they're screwed in, to see if they flash or do something different than what it's doing right now. So, take these guys out. That side. Try again. Okay, they're in there now. And which one is that? Not sure. We'll just figure it out. Okay. Behavior seems the same. Okay, that means I can put them in either place. So right now the behavior is the same. So I need to change the way the flasher is working. All right. Flasher board. FR adjuster and dimmer. Okay. If it tells us anything else about the flasher board later down here. Okay, see that the flasher board is there. Trade from the right, IR sensor from the left. Split wire. Power display light. So I need to know what the FR adjuster is, jumper JY, and the dimmer. Which doesn't say jack on this board. Okay. Jumper on 45. Jumper is on. No jumper there. $90. Yeah, I see 45, I see 90. So jumper on 90. Servo rotates 180 degrees. Okay. Tested with SG90 servo only. Not sure if fit for other servos, not servo. So separately. Okay. Jumper for bulbs. Jumper for LEDs. Still checking it out. Okay, jumper. Servo stays at new location when train clears sensor. Will reverse to original location by next trigger. Jumper on. Now let me find this jumper. MB. Servo set. Master board. Servo set. There's no jumper. Now the question is, since there is no jumper, where do I get another jumper from? There being a computer guy got many jumpers somewhere. Give me a moment. Let me go grab a jumper or a couple of them. Where they are, that's a good question. Okay. Found my jumpers. Here we have a jumper. So, jumper on servo set. Gonna fit. Not fitting. It's fine. It looks like yours. Okay. Okay. Now, what should happen is, again, train's coming in this way. We hear things go downward. Uh-oh. Let's try it again. Train comes in. Okay, let's move faster. Train comes in. Okay. Train comes in. these things may just throw the servos may throw these arms off. We will see what happens. Right now it's set to turn an arm 180 degrees. So I'm going to screw them on. Just going to place them on top of the servo. Press 180. That for both. Let's see how far these guys actually turn. Okay. Can you see all of that? Let's see. Yeah, I think you can see them. Let's get it to where it's okay. All right. They turned 180 degrees. Turn 180 degrees. Let's take our train, go through here, 180. Crossing gate would be down, come down through here. Boom, crossing gate just went up. Okay. Crossing gate down, crossing gate up, down, up, up. Okay. All right. So that works. Let me take these back off. Okay with that. And it has the ability to do 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 180 degrees. For whatever reason, it says 90 degrees twice. Okay. So for my scenario, that's set right. I'm still concerned about the flashing. They're not lighting. So maybe timing isn't right. I'm going to disconnect it. Remember, I plugged in that jumper while it was operational. So let me do that. Let's come here. Look it up. Guess it's ready to go. Let's see, my train. Okay. They are flashing. It's a slow flash. Okay. Train continues out of that sensor range into this sensor. Okay. Speed of flash. Let me find that. I think it needs to go a little faster. My trains are going to be really going that slow. Flasher. Got a dimmer here and something called adjuster. And nothing on here tells me the speed yet. Let's see. As a test switch here, I'm going to tap it, see what happens. I think that triggers it immediately. Let's see. I'll hold it. I'm a monkey with this FR adjuster. Frequency response adjuster. I don't know what it stands for. I'm just making a guess. Test it. Oops. Okay. Here we go. So the FR adjuster on the flasher board controls how fast they flash. So to me now, it's flashing a little bit better. Let's see if you can see it. You can't see it at all. Okay, you can see them flashing back and forth now. Let's see. I will turn off the overhead lighting. I don't know what that's going to do to the overall picture, but let's see. The sunshine is coming up. See if you can see it a little better. Test. Okay, yeah, you can see that a lot better. So that's flashing much better now. Okay, a little faster for me, which that's going to be better indicator for my trains. So the number one thing is I don't have to damage these ends by plugging them into the flash into the side and screwing them in. See, I did not damage them. Good. Same effect happens when I plug them into the side here. So I'm going to do that. Put them back there. More. Okay. All right. Train comes through. There's some flashing going on. Now, the length of time, I think now needs to be adjusted a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. So I think there's a timer that, or I take that. This would be one engine. So one engine would get you through there. But I think the way it works is based on how many cars I have back here. So let's say I got a car back here still. Okay. All right. Goes through that sensor. That's fine. Clears that sensor. Goes down. Need to do that again. Train is coming through. Got a couple cars behind it. It leaves. Okay. So in reality, my proximity might need to be just a little bit closer to my crossing gates, and things should be fine. There are different bells. That bell right there is currently fine. That's not overbearing. That works out okay. So, excuse me. Let me try this. Move the sensor in a little bit. Might forget a train. And how's this? Come on. Okay. Train. Longer train, it stays on longer. So we go off there, wait until the other one passes. Okay. All right, I'm good with that. I know how to set it up. It's working. So it is what? 9? Is that me? Oh, I can't see. It's 8:19. So I get a little bit of sleep. All right. So I know that's not, super duper pretty. But this allows me to leave feedback everything works the way they say it should work. Might be a few more little tweaks that I need to do, but for the most part, I know what I have to do to set it up. I have some of their traffic signals. Looks like he's got another board that might just piggyback off of one of these boards, and I can control the traffic lights. Now, I will have a whole lot of traffic lights by the time it's done. Right now, I have 6 traffic lights, but it looks like somewhere in one of my little diagrams, I need somewhere around 18. Let me double check real quick. I took still shots of these. These will be on the website. This is just some hand drawings. So originally, when I first thought about doing the traffic lights, I was going to try to limit the number of traffic lights I was going to use. And this was the first diagram I made for the use of the traffic signals. Okay. Mostly on my main street and my bypass highway, I was going to try not to have to put traffic signals in one direction. That's not going to work out so well. So later, I have upgraded that, and this is the new diagram, including exactly where I need to put things for the, I need to change some of my sidewalk for my fire station, so I have enough room to actually put a traffic signal somewhere. But I've identified over here basically more so where the traffic lights are going to be, and currently it calls for 1 double track crossing, 10 single track crossings, and then how many actual traffic signals? 14. I said 18. I need 14 traffic signals with pedestrian crossings, and 1 or 13 traffic signals with pedestrian crossings, pedestrian signals, and 1 traffic signal without pedestrian signals, and that 1 is already installed. This is a crude, diagram, not to scale by any means. Can't really make out much, but one of the things that I'm going to have issues with is right up near the front of the layout. When you can see the layout, is there's 2 or 3 turnouts right here. The problem is the tortoise machines are installed underneath the board. So, and these turnouts come pretty much close to the edge of the layout. So unfortunately, I can physically put the crossing gates down, but I may not be able to actuate them, and I may not even be able to light them because the tortoise machines are directly underneath those areas. So that may just be for looks when the time comes. We'll just have to see what that's going to look like. And there's even one point where I may not even be able to put one of the double crossing gates, because I have a road that's like right here. It goes diagonally like this. There's 2 tracks that it crosses over. When the street meets the diagonal street like this right here, the crossing gate ought to be right here in the middle of the road, in the middle of this road right here. So I either have to move the street or not put the crossing gate in, because just like my fingers on the edge of the board here, that's the edge of the layout. There's no more room over here. The control panel is actually currently sitting right there. So either I don't install the crossing gate, or I don't show both lanes in my road. I'm sorry, I'm yawning quite a bit. So that's going to be it. Roughly 8:30, I think. In this video, might be 2.5 hours. But I'm going to save it, stop it, and eventually it'll get up there. For now, this has been a success. Thank you, WeHonest. And all I'll say is that these guys treated me right. They did good. Everything looks good. I'm satisfied with the components. Now I just got to get to work and get them installed. I know how to do it now, so all is well. I'm going to leave everything right here, right where it is, and call it a night. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed any of this, and I know it was long, it was tedious, I had a whole lot of issues, but if you're able to follow what I've done, wonderful. If you purchase one of their full sets, this will at least give you an idea of what's going on, how you can configure the board and get the things working. So the stuff works. It's great. I'm going to bed. You guys have a great time. Subscribe if you like. Come back and check me out later when I got all this stuff actually installed on the layout. Ending stream.